Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling today? As unique individuals, we all have our own bad days, our own emotions, and sometimes we take it out on others and we struggle in our relationships. You see, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships. You cannot be happy and in a good place if you are surrounding yourself with people who are negative. And relationships can become very tricky. And it doesn't just have to be a romantic relationship, it could be a relationship with a friend, a parent, a sibling, a family member. But it comes to a point where we have to deal with the problems in our relationships. When we have to deal with our psychological needs not being met. And that's what causes a lot of anger and resentment between people, because they also do not communicate how they feel in the relationship and what their fears are in the relationship. It's very important to find a middle ground when you are in a relationship, because hardly ever will you always agree on everything all the time. Hardly ever will you have the same point of view, the same perspective, but you just have to meet each other in the middle. And sometimes we have to give something up for someone that we deeply love, and that is known as sacrifice. And meeting in the middle is known as compromise. But sometimes we have to sacrifice things. But a loved one will never make you sacrifice something to the detriment of your health in your life. Understand that, but sometimes we have to make small sacrifices. We have to give up something of ourselves to be there for a loved one. And that's okay, as long as it's not constantly expected of one person to constantly sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice. I would say that it would be better to find compromises, and every now and then maybe one person needs to sacrifice something, but it needs to be equal. There needs to be equality in a relationship. And because of that, we need to compromise most of the time, which means I benefit, you benefit. We both lose something a little bit, but we both benefit at the same time. And that is what compromise is. And in a relationship, we have to compromise, but we also have to sacrifice when it comes down to that. And that is the utmost form of love. Remember, compromising benefits both. It removes something that both parties wanted to gain, but for a small sacrifice that they are both making, they are both benefiting because they have found middle ground. In a relationship, you have to compromise. You always have to look for compromise. If you are in a fight, don't look for more confrontation. Don't look for more conflict. Look for compromise. A way to understand and listen to each other and let the other person feel heard. And you sacrifice for people that you love. Sacrificing something for someone is the utmost form of love. I am willing to put something of mine aside or give something of mine up to be there for you, to help you. And that would be, say, going to a game with some friends, but your mother is sick at home, so you'll give up your game to be with your mom because you love your mom. And that's why it's so important that we need to evaluate the value and the quality of our connections. And if you have had a bad day, here's another example. If you have had a really bad day and your partner has a full-on meltdown, you need to sacrifice your bad day. your feelings, to help them, to stabilize them, to be strong for them. Because it doesn't matter if you're not feeling strong. It matters if the other person is feeling weaker, and you need to help them get back to their strength. Sacrifice is the greatest form of love. There isn't anything anyone wouldn't do for someone that they love. And not to benefit from it, no, just to do it purely because you love them. And that is the amazing thing about learning how to navigate through a relationship. But remember, always monitor the quality of your relationships and make sure it's not toxic. Because if you find yourself in a toxic relationship, you'll have to struggle to, you won't compromise. You will actually be the one sacrificing the whole time. And never sacrifice to the detriment of your health, but always look for compromise. Remember, toxic relationships don't look for compromise. It's just, what can I get out of the other person? So always evaluate the quality of your relationships before you give a big sacrifice. Remember, it's important to have relationships. It's important to appreciate your loved ones. It's good to sacrifice every now and then, but always look for compromise, because these are important, healthy components of a relationship. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that beautiful person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.